Hi there, my name's Martin Goulding and welcome to this month's Lick of Doom. Okay, now this lick can be broken down into four main elements. The first of which is an A minor 7 arpeggio around the 12th fret area, position 4. And I'm going to start with a downstroke on the A string 12th fret, followed by a hammer onto the 15th fret. And then I'm going to sweep through 14, 12, 13, 12, and then I'm going to hammer 14, 15, 17, and then I'm going to tap 22, 24, 22, all the way back down to the 12th fret, and then I'm going to use left hand tapping technique to hammer on the remaining notes of the arpeggio. Okay, now the next element of the lick is a G major 7 arpeggio played in position 4 around the 10th fret area, and we're going to start on the A string with a downstroke, hammer onto 14, and then we're going to sweep all the way through 12, 11, 12, 10, and then hammer 12, 14, tap on 15, pull off all the way back to 10, and then again use our left hand tapping technique to descend the rest of the arpeggio. Okay, now it's also worth pointing out that the notes of the G major 7 arpeggio are actually relative to the root note of A. So rather than think of that as from G as a root note, major 3rd, 5th, major 7, you need to be thinking of it how it relates to A as the root note. Okay, so if you play that shape and you name all of these different intervals against the root note A, you'll see that you're actually playing an A minor 13 extended arpeggio. So if that's a sound you really like, just remember the formula that if you're playing over a minor 7 chord, then you can move down a whole step to the flat 7, and from that flat 7 you can play a major 7 arpeggio. So over an A minor chord here, just move down a whole step and think major 7, and that will give you an A minor 13 extended arpeggio sound. Okay, now the next element in this lick is an A minor 7 arpeggio in position 3. We're going to start on the flat 7, the 10th fret A string, downstroke, and then we're going to use our little finger to hammer onto the 12th fret, okay, which is the root note, and then we're going to sweep through 10, 9, 10, 8, hammer onto 10, 12, tap on 15, and pull off all the way back down to the index finger, and then slide, and then load up the 8th, 10th, pull off, slide again to the 5th fret, hammer, hammer, I'm using fingers 1, 2, 3 there, pull off, bend, vibrato. Okay, we're on to the fourth and final element of the lick now, with a phrase that we can visualise within the boundary of first position A blues scale. Okay, so from the last lick's final bend, we're going to target the 5th fret on the high E string, upstroke on the 8th fret B string, pull off to 5, upstroke on the G string at the 8th fret, that's our flat 5, back to the B string 5th fret, upstroke on the G string 7th fret, hammer on to the 8th fret, back onto the B string for the 5th fret, upstroke on the 6th, upstroke on the G string 7th, so that's economy picking, little sweep stroke there. Downstroke on the 5th fret on the B string, and then up on the 7th on the G string, down on the 6th, pull off to 5. Upstroke on the D string 7th fret, okay, and then from there you've got a little, kind of like a little blues lick. And then to end we're on the flat 3 and it's downward tone bend with vibrato to exit. Okay, I'm now going to connect those 4 elements and play the lick slowly.